Good morning, everybody. It's the 10th of November. It's the day after Remembrance Day. And our hearts go out to everybody who's remembering what the military that protected us gave their lives up for. They gave their lives for our freedom, not for our imprisonment that we're going through right now. And for those who saw it, the 100-year-old veteran who was saying, I didn't fight for this. They fought for freedom. And you need to remember that. If freedom is a God-given right. But if you don't stand up for your freedom, you don't stand up for your God-given right, they'll take it away. And they are. So it's time to stand up for your rights, which are God-given. Defend your rights. These men fought for your rights during the Second World War, the First World War, many wars. They fought for your rights. Don't forget that. These are your great-grandfathers, your grandfathers, who fought for your rights. It's time for you to stand up. Because the trouble is with strong men, they create good times, and good times create weak men. That's what we're living through. We're living through a period of weak men. So if you want to stand out as a man, be strong. Now's your chance. Morning, Paul. Morning, Drew.
Morning, Charlie. Morning, Drew. Morning, everybody. Well, we've got to start with a bit of good news for Americans today. President Trump says he's giving Americans a tariff dividend, at least $2,000 each, funded by money collected from his import tariffs. Critics say the tariffs are just taxes that raise prices, but Trump says, quote, people against tariffs are fools, claiming they bring in trillions and will help cut the national debt. The plan is still under review by the Supreme Court, and the payout could come as a check or a tax break. If the court blocks it, Trump says he has a, quote, game two ready.
All of these things are set out here to level the playing field and to make the world a better place. But there's a lot of people out there who don't see that. They micromanage it, and they don't understand fifth-generation warfare. They don't understand what it takes to take down an old system. When you demolish an old system, there's certain protocols that have to be followed. And some of them you might not like. But the end game is good. So don't get upset and thrown offline by what you're seeing. All of this tariffs and all of this is all part of fifth generation warfare, of dismantling the old system and taking away their money, because the deep state and the cabal cannot operate without money. That's where their power comes from. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie, Paul and everyone. My first story of the day. After 40 days of gridlock, the US government is finally on the brink of reopening. The Senate voted 60-40 to advance a bipartisan funding bill after Senator John Cornyn's dramatic last-minute arrival. The measure funds agency through January 2026, restores food aid programs and schedules a December vote on healthcare subsidiaries. The House is expected to vote by midweek, with President Trump ready to sign. After 6 weeks of political theatre, even a partial reopening feels like national relief.
This is all part of the game plan. And they've suddenly woken up to the fact, the Democrats, that if they carry on the shutdown, that they'll all get fired. I mean, there's so many people who've lost their jobs already. And they're like, hang on, it's going to be me next. If we don't open the government up, we'll be gone as well. There'll be nobody left to be a Democrat. The realization is sinking in. Their plan backfired. My next story is all about digital ID in the UK that they're pushing for. And digital ID is all about control. And yesterday, I found out some very interesting information, that because the British government feel that the British public don't want digital ID, they're targeting the poor people. And there are plenty of people in the UK and America that are poor because of the government. They've made them poor. So what they're going to say is, if you have a digital ID, we'll clear your credit card debt to zero. And if you don't like that, we'll clear your car loan to zero. And if you don't fall for that, we'll clear your mortgage to zero. Who remembers what we told you? You'll own nothing and be happy. That's what they told you. You suddenly become their bitch because you will own nothing, but you'll have your house, you'll have your car, you'll have all your nice things you bought on your credit card, your television, so they can feed you their propaganda. But if you don't do as you're told, they'll take it all away. Have you ever considered the difference between heaven and hell? Heaven has a very, very strict border. It has border control. Hell has open borders. Takes anyone and everyone. But it's down to you. Right now, we're in a third world war for your soul. God gave you your soul. They're trying to take it away. It's up to you to look after your soul, to nurture your soul. That's your choice. Heaven or hell. Heaven has very strict borders. It has strict immigration. Very strict. Hell has open borders. Hell makes it look something it's not. When you get there, you find out. But it's too late. We're just here to warn you. It's up to you what you do. I'm not going to force you. It's your choice. We live in a world full of free choice. What's your choice going to be?
Charlie, off the back of that as well, just for the viewers' knowledge, that in the UK, in the part of the UK, the government's actually testing to give a basic income of £2,000, and you've got two groups of people. You've got the working class and the non-working class, and they're actually testing to see if they can actually live off a basic income. So we can actually see also the fact that you'll own nothing, you'll get your basic income, and like you said, you'll be happy. So that's actually being tested. Paul?
Well, my next story, the White House is trolling the BBC after two of its top executives suddenly resigned. The BBC's Director General and Head of News both stepped down following controversy over a documentary covering Trump and the 2021 Capitol riots. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted a meme-style shot chaser comparison, suggesting the BBC backed down after criticising Trump. The BBC admits mistakes were made, while UK officials say the broadcaster now needs to rebuild trust and adapt to a new media era. I can't believe they've got off lightly just by stepping down.
Well, the BBC have been, in their own eyes, the number one when it comes to world news. We're now starting to see that they're the number one in bullshit. Because this isn't the first time they've done it. It's not just a one-off. They've been doing propaganda and media manipulation for years. With respect, they've done a really good job of making things look what they're not. Of course, they were all part of the moon landing. That really existed, didn't it? And September the 11th, Twin Towers. The photography and the pictures caught by them were incredible. Oh, it was all their own team on the ground. How amazing. They're very, very good at creating images, and we've seen that. But their time has come. They're being exposed. And they're not just being exposed for the bullshit and lies that they put out there. They've been covering up one of the worst trades in the world, human trafficking, child trafficking and paedophilia. This is all part of the exposure. It's all going to come out. My last story is a good one. Most of my audience will know Stuart. Stuart manages my golf events. Sadly, in his wisdom, he got vaccinated because we hadn't seen each other for a number of years. And I caught up with him just after he got vaccinated. And he lost the use of both his legs about 6-8 months ago. But I told him, I said, look, I'm blessed. I know a lot of people who can reverse the damage done by vaccination. The particular doctor we put him in touch with offered to reset his DNA to what his DNA was as a child with the use of peptides. Today, Stuart's legs are working perfectly. There's only one problem with Stuart. He doesn't look 65 anymore. He looks 40. I hardly recognised him. We're the same age. Where do you think Charlie's going at 9 o'clock this morning? I'm going to do the same thing. See if I can look younger and feel younger. Because these peptides that he's using, I'm the second guinea pig. It's worked for. He looks 40 years old. He feels 40 years old. His mind is sharp. His body is working perfectly. But that might just be a one-off. It might just be Stuart. So Charlie's going to try for the next 6 to 8 weeks, see what happens. And you as my audience will be able to tell whether it works or not. If it works, we can carry on this for another 40 years. Drew will be happy. She's always wanted to do the news for 40 years.
I'm sure if I took it, I'd probably look about 10, Charlie.
Yeah, that's true.
My next story, Britain sends help after Europe's latest airspace scare. RAF teams are deploying to Belgium to track unidentified drones near airports and NATO bases, with officials suspecting, drumroll, Russian involvement. Obviously, Russia always gets the blame. NATO may soon expand joint counter-drone defences. Modern warfare now hums at 3,000 feet, and sometimes you can't even hear it.
Well, my last story of the day, and speaking of Russia, Slovakia says it will not support the EU plan to use frozen Russian assets to fund Ukraine's military. Prime Minister Robert Fico says doing so would only prolong the conflict, not end it. Around $300 billion in Russian assets have been frozen since 2022, and some interest has already been used to support Ukraine. But the EU is now debating using far more. Fico warns the move could trigger legal battles and retaliation from Moscow, and says Slovakia will not participate in any effort to turn those funds into military spending.
Well, I think we're getting to a very interesting phase, and it's something I'm not going to mention his name, but there's certain people that they have different views to me about hegemony and what happens in certain countries and what countries are allowed to do. And I was having a discussion yesterday about Venezuela, and they were saying, well, it's not regime change because the government's in there, shouldn't be there. And I said, look, the world needs to get back to having free and fair elections. But you can't go back to foreign interference. You can't go back and say, oh, this is the last one we're going to change. The people of Venezuela need to have a vote that's free and fair. It's the same in Palestine. It's the same in Israel. It's the same in Ukraine. It's the same in America. The government should be beholden to the people. And it hasn't been for 50 years, maybe longer. They've chosen who they have in power. And then, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, the people have the right to remove you and put in somebody who can. But that hasn't happened for years. And I don't care which country you are, America, you are the world's worst when it comes to hegemony and dictating who should be in power. The people of each country, whether you like it or not, need to be in control of their own. And we're seeing countries now, like Burkina Faso, like El Salvador, that are electing the leaders they want. And they're doing a good job. Now, if you don't like it, whoopee-doo. The people matter, not you, not this dictator, not this, America, no, they have to agree with us. Otherwise, they can't be in power. It's time to let go. We had to do it as UK and the UK has had America by the balls for years. It's time for the UK to let go too. So that the people represent the people. I'll leave you with that thought on the 10th of November, 2025. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Hi guys, this is a personal message from me. If you see a video on Facebook, you are following an imposter. I am not on Facebook. I have not been on Facebook since June 2020 when they removed me. Please redirect to watch all of my videos at charlieward.com. All official social media links are on my website. We urge you to stop following fake channels. I will never message you in a video. I will never ask you for money. I will never message you privately. I will never contact you directly. I will never ask you to email any information directly. I will never sell you cryptocurrency or any currency or ask you to open a quantum financial system wallet. Please do not get caught by these scammers who are out there. I do not endorse other truthers so that an imposter can say that I've said this. I will not ask you directly or indirectly to open a quantum wallet, so please be careful. If you want to check out the validity of anything, contact us directly via our website at charlieward.com. There's a contact page there. We have a customer care team there to help you.